What's up, heretics? It's the Religion of Speed podcast, the show for car nerds by car nerds. I am Matt Overstreet.
I am Chris Huffman.
I'm Hamza.
And I'm sad I don't have a fun car.
It's all right. We're working on it. And we'll talk about why that all came up near the end of the podcast. But to start things off, I want to talk about some news. Not a whole lot going on that's really caught my eye too much. But there was one headline that I don't believe for a fucking second, but this is a headline on the internet. Toyota developing electric sports car with rotary engine Mazda twin.
I was really optimistic when I saw this story.
You were?
Like, yeah, Toyota's developing lots of great cars with other companies, and this is the kind of ridiculous stuff that makes sense, at least for a concept car.
I don't know. The minute you throw rotary engine into any headline, I'm like, oh, this isn't going to happen.
That's true. We still haven't seen that MX-30 rotary range extender, have we?
I think that actually came out in Japan.
Did it?
I think so.
Okay, we just haven't seen it in the States
Yeah,
yet.
I don't think we're ever going to see it in the States. I think that's one of those weird...
Why do people like, or let me rephrase that. Why do car enthusiasts like the rotary engine so much?
I think just because it's different more than anything.
Because it's trash, right?
I like it because it's
no.
mechanically masochistic.
The rotary engine is not trash. Okay.
So why isn't it like...
It's not reliable.
Yes,
yes,
okay, that's all right.
compared to
The
I
box
like,
up there.
would
It's not
argue.
reliable.
No, I would argue it's perfectly reliable if you put it in the hands of somebody who gives a shit about it.
yeah, like a rotary specialist mechanic. But anybody else that owns that,
No, just anybody that checks their fucking oil.
Oh, yeah,
every time they fill up their gas.
Yes, exactly.
Every other fill up, you add a quart of oil, and you make sure to beat the shit out of the engine as often as you can.
So the question is, like, does it make more power over a normal, like...
For displacement.
For displacement, it's way better.
Yeah.
Packaging is a lot smaller. It's not really that much lighter because it has to use cast iron housings, so technically it's not that much lighter, but it's so much smaller and compact, you can put it kind of wherever you want. It has its advantages. The big problem is, though, in essence, and there's our rotary guys will argue this with me, of course, but just very basically, it's really related to a two-stroke. So you have to use oil, inject oil into it, and it's just a very dirty engine.
Well, and the apex seals are constantly degrading themselves, and they are the essential component in the engine. It's once they fail, it loses compression.
That to me is just like a more frequent timing belt. If you're a rotary person, you're gonna do it every certain 60,000 miles or however, probably 5,000 miles because once an oil change seems appropriate.
Just engine rebuild every 5K. It's fine.
I'm pretty sure the pro rotary drifters just rebuild it every race.
Probably.
Yeah.
It is a very interesting design. It makes a lot of noise and a lot of fire.
Yes.
And it sounds awesome.
Yes.
But it's never been a practical car engine, ever, or motorcycle engine. They did make motorcycles with rotaries, or Wankel engines. Because the rotary is technically like Mazda's way of referring to it. It's a Wankel engine is the design. But yeah, but I don't really understand why people are still obsessed, like you said, with it coming back though. I think it was a cool thing that existed for a while, but we've moved on.
I think in sports cars it makes sense. When they announced that they were using it as an EV range extender, I was like, okay, this makes no sense at all.
Yeah, I do not get that.
But because it's meant to experience its full range of RPMs constantly. When it sits idle or when it sits at 1 RPM, that's when it sees higher failure rates. And you're obviously not going to be revving it up and down the whole time it's extending an EV range.
Right.
But if it's in a manual gearbox and you're beating the shit out of it on a racetrack, that's perfect for what it's built for.
Yeah, they like to be run.
Yeah.
But the thing is, too, though, like, I feel like back in, like, when the rotary kind of first unveiled, we'll say RX-7, which isn't the first unveiling of it, but, like, the first-gen RX-7, people back then were more like, the cars were mechanical things, and you had to be kind of mechanically inclined to take care of them and all that kind of stuff. These days, there's no consumer in the world that wants that. Like, they want to get in their car, hit the start button, and drive. They don't want to check their oil every fill up. They don't want to deal with the maintenance problems of it. I think that's the main reason the RX-8 failed, is just because the public perception of how they want a car has changed since the old RX-7.
And it didn't bring boost back, so it didn't get the enthusiasts back.
Right, it made too little power.
Really wanted. Yeah, like it didn't have the torque that the RX-7 Turbo had.
The RX-8 was a 1.6?
1.3.
1.3.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The Renesis, yeah, so it had the same displacement as the old 13B,
It's basically an updated 13B.
which I'm told it has fewer overheating issues.
Oh, I have no idea about that.
Um,
I know they had a lot of apex seal problems on those engines, but the Renesis, they were really trying hard with emissions, and it led to a lot of failures.
I think to this day, if you buy the last year they built the RX-8, there's still an open recall at Mazda. And if you buy a used one, the recall hasn't been performed on. You can take it to Mazda and get a brand new engine put in your car.
That's some fucking consumer advice right there.
Yeah. I used to want to do that for an 04, but the recall is finally starting to expire on the older years. But I mean, that would have been awesome. Get a brand new engine put in your car. I mean, it's only going to last 30,000 miles.
Right?
That's okay.
How long will that last?
I think the real thing here is this, to me, says we always see Toyota developing cars with other manufacturers, but I really want to see a standalone Toyota product come out besides the GR Corolla and the other Gazoo racing stuff. I want to see like just a pure new sports car from Toyota.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at the same time, though, like, if Toyota develop, like, I love Mazda chassis. We've talked about this before, me and Aaron at work. We had it was the manual Mazda 5.
Yeah, the little van.
The little van. It's like, it's a minivan with a manual, and the chassis feels so fucking good. Like, you could put some 200 treadwear tires on that thing and go autocross it, and it would be great.
Wow, and it seats like, what, 7 people?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, that is a very underrated vehicle, in my opinion. But every Mazda, I drove a CX-3 the other day, and I was like, this is a crossover. I hate crossovers. I kind of like this thing. It handles good. So, if you can get Toyota reliability and Toyota engines, because I've never been a big fan of Mazda engines in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my Miata drinks like a quart of oil every week if I daily it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, even a good, reliable Miata engine is still just like, they're kind of whatever. You know? Toyota engines aren't exactly that much better, but they're super reliable. You know, they're overbuilt. Mazda chassis are good. So, I mean, if they're going to make some sort of sports car with Mazda, I'm all for it, for sure. But I highly doubt it's going to be electric rotary. I mean,
Well, is that what's going on here? I thought Toyota was building the electric version and the Mazda version would have rotaries.
that's even more ridiculous then. Like, there's no way.
No, there's 2 rotary engines in it, and it's a hybrid.
Yeah, you have one rotary at the front, one rotary at the back.
This is, and we're adding multiple. No.
Definitely.
See, I don't understand it as a range extender. It's not a good motor for that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It looks good.
It does look good.
So
It
that
looks
was
really
the
good.
mid-engine concept that Toyota unveiled a while back. They unveiled a whole bunch of electric cars, and they were like, "This is a mid-engine concept." And like, now if they make something like that with Mazda, like if we have some Mazda underpinnings for that thing, that will be, call it the MR4,
Whatever.
whatever, MRM, Mazda, no.
Mazda Speed.
Mid-rear
MR.
Mazda?
Mid-rear Mazda. the Mazda Speed.
It's the MRX7.
There you go.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one.
So, I don't know. I don't think we're ever going to see this. This was from drive.com/AU. I'm surprised it's not from like Hot Car or something. You see all these like weird bullshit things on the internet. You're like, there's no way. But to be fair, they were saying the new Bronco's coming. I've seen headlines for that for the last decade, and hey, it eventually happened. Same with the mid-engine Corvette.
Yep, that's true.
So, there's a chance, but I highly doubt it.
I've heard a lot of the new Broncos are having engine problems.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of quality control issues with the new Broncos,
Yeah,
which is weird.
and I've heard both motors, the 2.7 and the larger motor.
Well, Ford's been having issues with that 2.7 for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, lot of weird issues with the V6 EcoBoost stuff.
And that's the only one you can get a manual in the new Bronco. You can get the 7-speed gearbox with the 2.7. It's got the crawler gear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 7-speed. Jesus.
Yeah, they added a low gear for it.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. We're going to be talking about F1 for a little bit, which I know is mostly my thing. Nobody else here is really into F1. In fact, we have one person here that's actively against F1.
I'm not actively against it. I'm actively against non-car enthusiasts liking F1 for dramatic purposes,
Fair
like
enough,
a reality
yeah.
show. It has
Gotcha.
nothing to do with. I love F1. It is the most engineered vehicles on the planet, or I should say, these are the vehicles that are engineered to a degree where they can go around a circuit faster than anything else on the planet, and that will always be the exciting and amazing part of F1. But I hate that it's become reality TV.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love that the show has made it so that way we have more F1 coverage and races and stuff here in America, but Jesus Christ, that show is terrible. It's just a drama-filled like housewives of F1,
Yeah.
basically.
That's how you market to Americans.
I guess so, and it worked. It did work.
Yeah, somebody at like F1, they're like, how do we get Americans to be really into like, just make a
Just make a
reality
bunch of
TV
drama.
show.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah, the moment they were trying to make it look like, I think it was even season 1 or 2, where they make Lando Norris look like he was just being a complete dick to Daniel Ricciardo when he got to McLaren. And like, all the interviewers were like, no, we're cool. We hang out all the time. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
It's all manufactured drama.
yeah, that's why Lando Norris was like, no, I'm not having anything to do with that show anymore. That's why you don't see him on there anymore.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, they can edit it to make it look like whatever they want to see. Yeah, and that is kind of tragic. It really is.
But it has increased, like I said, F1's presence here in America. And while this thing will not load on my screen, I'll just tell you what it is. Of all people, Lewis Hamilton is now part owner of the Denver Broncos.
Yep, he's along with Condoleezza Rice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Those are two people you wouldn't expect to see in the same room together.
Right? And they'll share an owner's box.
That's crazy. But yeah, Lewis Hamilton actually spends quite a bit of time up here. I think he has a place in Vail.
that's cool.
It's because the owner of F1 owns a massive swath of property in Centennial.
Yeah.
Their like headquarters is right off of 470.
Yep. Yeah, I used to drive by it all the time. What the fuck is the name
Where's
of that place?
that?
By you know where 470 turns to E470?
Yeah,
Past
like
25?
Lincoln?
Right by the airport right
Yeah,
there.
right by
Yeah.
Centennial. Yeah, you can
There's-
see, because that's where they have the video distribution rights for F1. It's all comes from right there, right?
So there's been a lot of talk about doing a Denver Grand Prix because of where he is, but I'm not sure the city, like obviously they used to do it here, but
Right.
the city is not down. So
I don't know why. That
Yeah.
would be
That's
they
so
bring
much money.
so much people and money here.
huge.
They don't want more people here.
I mean,
That's why they
You'll,
don't
like,
want it
fair,
to.
fair.
The old like straight was Spear,
Oh wow.
like right
wow.
by the Pips. Well, coming down by the Cherry Creek and like all of like it's. I mean, so awesome. Going underneath the convention center.
The thing is, even
Oh
if they,
wow, like under the Belco and all that.
yeah.
That would be fucking so sick.
it'd be such a great race. Unfortunately, we couldn't afford to go, even if they did it.
Yeah, but you go to like somebody's condo, right?
Yeah.
And you just watch it. Yeah, like
Oh, that'd be so sick.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And I've been kind of hoping, because ever since I learned that, what is the name of that company? Because I invested in them a while back, but
Yeah, I've driven by their headquarters, and it makes sense where it is, because Centennial Airport's a small airport with a long enough runway to land a plane that's flown over the ocean.
yeah, exactly.
So, they could jet straight from Europe and come right here.
yeah, it's the giant building that
Liberty
looks like
Media.
Liberty Media. Thank you.
Oh, great.
The giant building that looks like Xavier's School for the Gifted.
It
or
does
whatever
look
is.
like Xavier's School for the Gifted.
I mean, drive by the front, you're like, huh, yeah, no, that could be that place. But yeah, and now with Lewis Hamilton buying part of the Denver Broncos, like and the Waltons are part of that. There is money there to make that race happen. There's enough
totally.
influence and everything to make that race happen.
Could you imagine it's sponsored by Walmart?
The Walmart Grand Prix.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said the Waltons. They do sponsor. I've seen the logos on an F1 car. I don't know which team has Walmart stickers on. I swear that one of those teams is sponsored partially by Walmart.
well now with Kimmy going to like
He's doing
NASCAR,
NASCAR,
it's
yeah.
kind of like a full circle. Like you got Walmart, NASCAR, F1 drivers, football. Like
Right, yeah, we're really trying to integrate.
It's true.
We're just pushing our American agenda on the rest of the world more and more. Enjoy football, damn it.
If you have to wear a helmet, we're in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. If it can cause potential brain damage, we are in.
Me and Kayla were talking about that the other day because we were rearranging the closet and she pulled out her motorcycle helmet. She hasn't had a motorcycle in a couple years now, but she's like, I got to put this somewhere. And I put it up on the shelf next to my car racing helmet. And I was like, we need more helmets. I feel like the more helmets you have of different types, you got your snowboarding helmet, your motocross helmet, your racing car helmet, your all sorts of stuff. And that's 2 hours. Yeah. So GoPro did not last 2 hours. The more helmets you have, the more fun life you have.
That's true. That's true. If you've got a helmet, it just indicates you've done something interesting.
Yeah, you did things that could have ended your life.
Yeah.
So,
which is the measure of an interesting person, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Humans are weird. But to continue on with our F1 news, of all people, Audi and Porsche are finally getting into F1.
Yep.
So we're having some Volkswagen Audi group presence in F1 finally.
I think it's going to be awesome.
I'm kind of surprised Audi and Porsche joining. Like once Porsche was in, I was like, oh, there's Volkswagen Auto Group's like entry.
Like they're joining separately?
Yeah. 2 different teams.
Wow.
Good.
Right? Yeah, but that's awesome because that's some intercompany competition right
still
there.
Using Hondas, right? Honda engines.
Yeah,
they
probably.
have to, right?
Yeah, they'll be rebranded. But
but Honda pulled out at the end of this is the last season, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Honda. Yeah.
But Porsche bought all of their stuff. So it's going to be a Honda engine rebranded as a Porsche engine. So it's the most reliable Porsche engine ever.
Yeah.
That's great. All right.
So now Porsche can dominate Le Mans, Pikes Peak, Volkswagen Group, I guess.
Yeah.
Pikes Peak, Le Mans, and F1.
Yeah.
Yeah, and soon NASCAR, I guess, is the
Right?
next
Yeah,
step.
they're really going for dominance.
I mean, they're one of the big juggernauts of the world. They're one of the biggest auto brands there is.
Yeah, there was a recent article I read that they're like, if like valuation is like $85 billion.
Whew.
Wow.
And you wouldn't think that because you're like, well, it's Porsche. It's like a luxury brand. Like, how many people really actually own? But like, so imagine you're Volkswagen, right?
Yeah.
You're the biggest auto manufacturer on the planet, and then you also own like the biggest luxury sports car brand. Well, they also own fucking Lamborghini. So
Right,
what am I saying?
exactly.
But like,
Yeah, I mean, and ever since Porsche got in the SUV game, that's what changed the game for them. How many
You see a ton of Cayennes in
the
the cans.
Cayennes, Macans.
Yeah.
I mean, we learned a little bit about the Macan.
The Macans are
That thing was incredible, right?
right. Yeah.
We're driving in the mountains, and he is outrunning a bunch of sports cars.
Yeah. Well, sports cars.
Yeah, quote,
Yeah.
unquote, yeah.
Yeah.
They're sports cars. We'll probably talk about that later
V6
anyway,
just
right?
screaming. And
Yeah.
I was the one, I mean, I was behind him the whole, behind him in the sense that I started behind him and then
Right.
he was so far gone that I couldn't see him anymore. I'd like catch up to him on one corner and then I would just hear him go, wah, pop, 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 wah, and then he was gone.
So that's a little preview of what we're going to talk about a little bit. But yeah, I think those cars, though, those what gave Porsche the money to really keep growing like they did. And then Audi, of course, is just, I see a lot more like, I mean, we're in the city, we're in Colorado. Audi's a very big brand out here because of all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
There's so many Audis in Boulder.
Once
It's
you
ridiculous.
graduate past
It's like
Subarus, you buy Audis.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's
Audis
exactly how
and
it goes.
Teslas is mostly what I see in Boulder.
Right.
Yeah.
Ton of Teslas.
Wouldn't that be
Or
interesting if Tesla got into F1?
Let's not.
Or Formula E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking of Tesla
sponsoring
building a fucking gasoline engine to go.
That'd be
You know, it wouldn't
hilarious.
happen, but
Just to troll us. Yes, they would.
true.
He would do that.
Yeah.
That bastard.
That bastard. But yeah, no. So this isn't going to happen until like 2026, I think it was.
Okay, so we won't be seeing him in Vegas next year.
No, yeah, Audi 2026. Porsche might be a little sooner than that, just because they are buying the old Honda stuff. And I don't know if I saw in here if Audi's going to be making their own shit or not. I wouldn't be surprised if they do, though. They have the resources to build their own engines, their own chassis for sure, and just
Yeah.
Probably dominate.
I wonder if you're going to see cooperation between those two teams, like in the pits.
I don't know, because it might be kind of like a
The brands are so separate. There's no way. I mean,
yeah.
people still don't even like just at the way you you don't think we do, but like normal people, I've said it before to like just like a normal person who owns a Volkswagen. I'm like, oh yeah, that's an Audi, and they're like, what? And you're like, yeah, they're the same brand. They're
Yeah.
like, no, they're not. And you're like, That is literally that A3 is that Jetta.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
car. Like it's like look at
It's
it.
fancy golf.
Yeah, it's fancy golf.
Yeah, I mean the TT and the Golf had the same chassis for a long time.
I mean, the TT still does.
The modern TT?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's cool.
Like for the most part, it's the same chassis. You know,
Squashed Beetle, the old one. It's just like, you're like,
we still got to come up with our list of golf, long
Yes.
golf, tall golf, squish golf, luxury golf.
I drove in an all-track the other day.
They're all different golfs.
A manual
all-road
all-track.
golf wagon.
And so I like called a lift or whatever, and it was like, like you're being picked up in a golf, and I was like, that's gonna be a little cramped because it was like 2 grown men in the back of a golf.
Right.
It's like, all right. And then this all track pulls up, and I was like, oh yeah, long golf. It's like that's totally. It was so comfortable. It was a really great car. It had like these nice cognac leather seats. I was like, dude, this is the fanciest golf I've ever seen.
That's like a Lift Black edition, like the Lift XL.
Yeah, but it was manual, so like, and it was like,
Oh, nice.
so like every time it shipped, we were like bouncing around.
So he wasn't the best manual driver in the world. Although I will say, every Volkswagen I drive that's a manual, I don't like their shifters. I've never liked Volkswagen shifters.
I love how forgiving the clutches though.
Yeah, clutches are easy, but I just always feel like it doesn't feel good going into gear, and I always screw it up. Like,
My feels very notchy, first to second.
yeah,
Like it's like a kunk, there's like 2 movements that you have to do.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's a weird like learned thing you have to get when you drive a Golf all the time.
where I feel like the Fiesta, it's not a Honda shifter by no means, but like first, second, you're just like ka-chunk, third, and third, like you just kind of push it and it goes into gear. It's great.
The BRZ was really notchy until I put Motul in it.
Yeah,
And now it's super notchy when it's cold. But once it warms up, it's nice.
that's true. With the factory fluid, the gearbox was a lot notchier. I put 1 quart of AMSOIL and 1 quart of BG Synchro Shift in it, and that seemed to be the secret sauce for sure.
Nice.
It only took like 2 1/4 quarts to fill that thing up.
So your transmission's tiny.
Yeah, it's very tiny. This fly is gonna get it at some point.
It's on your head.
Fucking flies. I'm not that. I just took a shower before I came here. Stop.
Yeah, must like your herbal essences.
Right, probably.
Is that a secret? Is that how he gets such beautiful locks?
Yeah, look at this. I do go to the women's section for shampoo and conditioner because all the men's shit sucks.
It does. It dries your hair out.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
I use a woman's brand of conditioner. Yeah.
It's better.
And I'm old,
they
so
know what they're doing.
I use
I
a
wash my
hair
hair, like,
loss
once a
prevention
week.
shampoo.
With dish soap. Sometimes the car detergent.
You're just like out here, whatever.
I use
Break
fucking
clean.
women's deodorant.
What's that?
I use
Deodorant?
women's deodorant.
Do you?
Dude.
That's why you
Yeah.
always smell so.
So it's
awesome.
strong enough
Fucking,
for a
yeah.
man.
I think it's better. I think it's way better.
It probably is. Like men's stuff. Okay, let's get into a tangent real quick. Everything marketed to men is all just like, this is for a man.
Right.
We cut this with an axe. You will
It's
smell.
just sulfuric acid.
Sensitive skin? No such thing.
Yeah. And it's like, why can't we also smell
Can't
like
have dry
flowers?
skin
Yeah.
if you have no skin.
It's just fucking sandpaper.
Well, yeah,
Scented
it's just like those
sandpaper.
shave gels are all just soap. They dry your face out like crazy.
Yeah. That's like, why? Why? I don't understand why there has to be 2 different things. Where the skin is skin.
Yeah.
No.
They designed that one bottle of men's body wash to look like a quart of oil.
What?
I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of like that. You
Do you
do
know
that
they
right,
market-
it's
Do you
fine.
pour it sideways on your head?
Yeah, you got to pour it in the right direction.
Yeah.
Though.
You've got like a funnel. That's my shower funnel.
It's my
This is
shower
my
funnel.
shower funnel.
The fuck do you do with that?
It's like,
You don't wanna know.
Matt, you have a funnel and a notebook in your shower.
Shut up. The notebook's important.
It's got fucking shop towels when he gets out.
I want to look into the history of the blue shop towel because they're everywhere.
Yeah.
At some point, that became like the thing.
Why is blue the shop towel?
Right.
It's the same reason it's the collar color. It's just it's blue. It's blue collar, blue towel, blue. It's
Yeah, maybe that has
know?
something to do with it. Yeah.
If you go to white collar jobs, they have white towels in the bathroom.
This is true. Yeah.
There you go.
Because the quilted bounty is too feminine looking?
It's the quicker picker upper though. All right, what the fuck were we talking about? Let's talk about some Toyota. Jesus Christ. All right, let's go back to Toyota. This headline, like, it just is so Stupid. Toyota exec says lack of consumer demand makes U.S. goal of 50% electric vehicles by 2030 a long shot.
It was always a long shot.
It's not lack of consumer
It's
demand.
not
It's
lack of consumer demand.
Not being able to afford them.
Exactly. Yeah, there's lack of a consumer demand when everything is $50,000 at minimum.
At minimum, the Hyundai EVs are
Hyundai,
$50,000.
And there's a waiting list for those.
Yeah, the Ioniq 5s.
Yeah.
There's a waiting list. It's funny. We actually had one of the batteries finally pay. Hyundai paid us after it sat in pending for 60 days.
Oh, wow.
$50,000 on one R.o.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and almost all of that's the part.
That's insane. Like, that's not sustainable.
It was 2 hours of tech time to install it.
Oh, God. That's why
What
tech
did
need
they
to
just
get...
like lift body and just like roll the skateboard down?
I think that's what
think
Hyundai imagines it is. But the tech's like, it took me 6 hours to do this. This is ridiculous. So I submitted him for the opcode only pays you for 2 hours.
I mean, that's typical Hyundai warranty pay. That's why I hated working at Hyundai.
Well, that's why I submitted him for straight time. I got him an extra 4 hours
And they approved it?
after 60 days.
That's amazing. I think this headline also has to do with Toyota has one of the worst reviewed electric crossovers on the market right now.
Is it that CRV thing?
It's okay. Hold on.
CRV.
Let me.
RAV4.
CHR?
Nope. What is the name of this fucking thing? It's like the BX4iT or something like that.
Too many letters, that's why.
Yeah, it's a terrible name. Sorry. It's the BZ4X.
That's a horrible name.
It's a terrible name. And they're like, well, it stands for like B electric forward wheel drive. Like, I don't give a shit what it stands for. It's a terrible name.
Yeah.
And so, of course, they're not selling many because most people don't know they exist because it's a terrible name. It got terrible reviews. So Toyota's like, see, there's no demand for these. I hate when people do that. When they bring out a shit product and they're like, oh, see, nobody wanted it.
There's no demand for this. It's like, it's on fire.
Those fenders are like, they're atrocious. What?
Oh, yeah, everybody gave the WRX shit for its fenders, but those are so much worse.
That's true.
It looks
They
like
are
a
pretty
new
bad.
Aztec. That's
Yeah.
why nobody wants it.
And you know what's funny is the Aztec became popular like 20 years later just
Only
because of Walter White.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Only because of a TV show. But even then, I think that every ugly car comes back into style eventually.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Subaru Tribeca, the Baja.
Yeah.
They couldn't give those things away when they were new.
Yeah, and now they go for a premium,
Right, because they only had a 2-year production run because nobody wanted them.
right? It's so weird how that happens. I think it was Matt Farah from the Smoking Tire that said, like, there's a certain point once people forget how shitty a car is that they become popular again.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what happened to old Porsches. Like, people forgot how shitty owning, like, an air-cooled old Porsche was. Now they're worth so much money that, like, you get it serviced all the time, and it's a different ownership experience, but it's like owning a rotary. If rotaries were worth a shit ton of money, there'd be, like, people would love owning rotaries.
I mean,
know?
people are selling FC convertibles for like $10,000 now.
Yeah, but that's not even close to Porsche money.
You're right. I mean, 993s are like $70,000.
Yeah, for like a
For
junker.
a clapped one.
Yeah. I don't understand what's happening.
Anything pre 996 is astronomical.
Right.
Astronomical.
Yeah, anything air cooled, especially the 993 because it has electronic fuel injection and no radiator. It's got the best combination.
That's so ridiculous. That's almost as bad as Honda bringing out an engine with direct injection and a timing belt and manually adjusted valves.
Way to go,
Hey.
J Series.
No, wait.
Keep that J Series coming along.
No, wait. That's hilarious.
They're like, this is a twin turbo V6 with direct injection. Yeah, you got to do your timing belt every 120,000 miles and adjust your valves every 120,000
Oh, it's an
miles.
interference engine, so you better do it.
Right?
Yeah.
Can't do chains.
That's like Honda's threat for like, we know we built a good car, but you better fucking maintain it,
Right? Yeah.
or it's gonna die.
Yeah. And it's a specialized tool that only our techs have.
Right. How many times though have we gotten cars into the shop like Pilots and Odysseys, 120,000? So it's time for the big service. Time for the timing belt, valves, adjust. You know, it's a lot of labor. People are like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. It's like, listen, do this every 120,000 miles, and you have a great vehicle.
It will last longer than you do.
Right? Exactly. I know it's not Toyota where you just don't even put oil in it for 120,000 miles and it still runs, but it's still good.
It's the only thing I like selling.
Yeah.
I'm like, when someone brings in a Honda like that, I'm like, come, let me show you
Right.
how to just live forever.
I like that too because it manual valve adjusts. Like when now that I'm really good at them and get them just right, you get that thing and it idles just really nice. And like, you can actually tell a difference, especially if they're really out of adjustment.
And it's the intake and the exhaust valves that they all need to be adjusted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass. I hate doing the exhaust side on the back, and it could be a pain. But once you get it right and you get started up, it just idles so smooth. You're like, okay, I like doing stuff where the customer can see a difference. So did that stop recording and then just sit there on? Anyways, GoPros. Yep. I don't know what to fucking do with them.
Go amateurs over here.
I like that.
It's all right. It was a shitty camera angle anyways. But yeah, to go back to our thing we were talking about 5 minutes ago before we got off topic, there is a huge demand for electric cars. But we were also talking a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago maybe, about the average car loan price.
Right.
And what it's at right now. And it's like, yeah, that shit's not sustainable.
No, it's not.
And
yeah, the new EVs, I mean, there's a lot of cool EVs out. I would love an electric pickup truck, and I catch constant shit for saying I want that at work.
Yeah.
But I would love one of those.
I'd love a Rivian.
Yeah, Rivian would be fantastic.
Those trucks are awesome.
It's the size of a Tacoma, it can tow as much as an F-250, and it's really stylish. I love the way the headlights are set up.
And honestly, I like, which one is it? The Ioniq 5, that weird cyberpunk.
Yeah, the one that was in the new Spider-Man movie.
That sounds like a fucking new pack of action heroes. Not that's what that sounds like.
Rivian.
The Ioniq 5.
The Ioniq 5.
Rivian versus the Ioniq 5.
Yeah, no.
Rivian does sound like a supervillain's name, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Marvel is
Geralt
just-
of Rivia, so I don't know what you're doing, Rivian, but you stole that from something.
This is true. Well,
The Witcher.
aren't some of their engineers from like Croatia or something like that?
I don't know. The Witcher's Polish, but
Polish, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were.
Yeah, that general area, that part of the world that I don't know about.
We're like 10 hours away from Poland. Totally different.
Like, I'm American. I don't know my geography.
It's all the same once you get over the blue stuff around us.
Oh, a lot of Americans can drive 10 hours and not leave their state.
I know.
Right?
It's an hour to Austria from where I grew up.
Okay.
Wow, completely
then-
different culture.
In 2 hours, well, hour and a half you're in Slovenia, 2 hours Italy. And, yeah,
That's crazy to me.
That is
Why?
so
Why?
awesome.
Ugh.
That's why I want to retire on the Mediterranean.
yeah.
Because I can
It's all
fly
right
to
there.
Israel and get euros for lunch.
Yeah.
You don't eat money, silly.
yeah. You know.
Nice.
Oh
I
my
like
God.
that.
Just edit that whole conversation.
That's
No, we're
B-roll.
keeping it in. Everything's staying in. Fuck it.
That's what I always say.
Jesus Christ. We're cutting that for sure. Oh, man. All right. I only got one last thing on the news docket. It's barely news. I just wanted to just shout out Kumo Tire and their meme game.
Why be hurting when you could be skirting?
Giant Sky Tire. Like you were saying, they become the Wendy's of the fucking tire game.
Like, it makes no sense. Like, all of a sudden, I just started seeing these posts popping up, and I was like, what is happening at Kumo? Like, who's on drugs over there? Like, and then I like went through their feed, and they're posting like JDM, like hero cars, and all like it's
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
like a lot of their feed is just kind of like, car shit, but occasionally just a stupid meme.
Did
And
they-
I love it.
Did they dunk on any other tire brands? Like,
I haven't.
if it's not
seen
Kumo, it might
anything
as well
yet,
be a
but
Westlake.
That would be so like I can't.
They're
wait.
so far above Westlake. Come on. That's punching down.
Exactly. That's
You have to
punching
go
down.
after Michelin or fucking, go after the big boys. Punch up, you know. That's what we do in comedy now.
Don't kick them while they're down.
And I've
Don't
heard
punch
really
down.
good things about the new Enfera, or it's not Enfera. That's Nexon. What is it? What's the new Kumo?
God, I don't-
Exta or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
They have
yeah.
a new like 200 treadwear like autocross targeted tire, and apparently it's great.
Oh, really?
Oh.
And it's
Okay.
cheaper than
Really?
You
And
know,
these Falcons we've been buying?
yes, Falcons, yeah. And I mean, I thought about snagging one. I couldn't find any in stock, and randomly those.
Everything's out of stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on mine to come in, but it was like $580 for a set. So I'm like, I will wait.
That's cheap for it
That
now.
is cheap.
Yeah, well, it's
What size are you running?
225 45 17s.
It's super common size. That's
Okay.
why.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm always like, oh, these are like $1,200. They're like $255, 35s, 18s.
Yeah.
Like, it's super weird.
Yeah, we got a weird one, so they don't make as much of them. They charge more. That's just how it works.
That's how
Economics.
That's German cars versus Japanese cars. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not a stock.
I actually
it's
went
not
up a
stock
size, too.
Yeah.
Mine was a 250
Whatever.
in stock.
My stock size is 225, 45.
Yeah, so you could have just had cheap tires, but you had to
Yeah.
go wide.
Where am I gonna put 225s on
9-inch wide wheels. Yeah, stretch
That'd be a
those
nice
things.
little stretch, yeah.
Yeah, well,
The wheels are 0 inches wide.
fancy boys.
You'll be fashionable.
Disgusting.
And Hamza D beat it again.
Right. All right, let's get into what we did last weekend. We went and met up with some other friends of ours and went for a nice mountain cruise, which we haven't. This is the first time all of us together have done a mountain cruise.
It was an absolute blast, too.
Yeah, it was great. Do we want to say where we went, or we want to leave that secret? I mean, it's not like that big of a secret, but
Yeah, we didn't do anything too illegal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just mean it's a good driving road.
It was a good driving road.
I don't want to see it get too packed. Although it's always packed with cyclists, anyways. It's Guanella Pass here in Colorado, from Georgetown to 285. I don't know what that little corner is, but yeah, that is a great get up to like almost, what is it like? What was the elevation at the top there? Do you
At the
remember?
top,
It's around 11 something.
Yeah, 10
Yeah.
or 11. Yeah.
It's definitely right above tree line. So it's got to be 11.5-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, the summit parking lot is gorgeous, and then if you're feeling like a hike, there's just beautiful hiking around there.
Yeah, he can actually climb up to the top of a 14er.
Yep.
is
Mount Bierstadt, which we learned.
Oh, yep.
I always thought that was in Rocky Mountain National Park, but
Yeah, I don't know the names of any mountains around here,
Except Pikes Peak.
except Pikes Peak, but that has it's car related, so it sticks in my brain.
Yeah.
But yeah, Guanella Pass, this is the second time me and Hamza have done it. It's a great road. We had what cars do we all have? We have the Fiesta ST, the GTI, the BRZ, a B5 S4, a new, well, not brand new. What gen WRX would that be?
The newer, like
Yeah,
16
the previous
Yeah.
generation.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
previous
one
one.
that's not hideous.
the McCann,
The Macan, and then the CRV.
the fucking mountain goat. Baby.
Go. So that was a really clear. I mean, the CRV, of course, isn't a sports car, but even with the BRZ, it was just a clear difference, especially at the elevation of turbocharged versus NA.
Yeah, going uphill, I didn't have a prayer of keeping up with you guys.
Yeah.
Downhill was fun, though.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest though, I was talking to what's the name of the kid that had the WRX?
Ryan. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we were both like, "Are you feeling like you're down on boost?" Because I wasn't like. So the worry is, right, your ECU will not try and overspin, and so
Right.
I felt like the entire drive up, I was like recording like 12 to 15 psi, get back down to where it's used to being, and I'm like 19 to 22. And
Yeah.
I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, less air.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because it is going to want to try not to overspin that
Yeah.
turbo too much, and then it can only spin so much too.
Yeah.
It definitely
felt
will.
very
It's
slow.
definitely still affected the turbo cars, but not to the extent of a little 2-liter NA.
Well, apparently it didn't affect the Macan at all, but it had 2 turbos.
Yeah, see, you just got to put another turbo on it. Yeah, our buddy Don, he was driving a Porsche Macan, which it's an SUV, so we're all in our like little hot hatches and our 200 treadwear tires, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna be. And Don was just gone.
Yeah.
I was on
with
snow
all
tires.
seasons.
Okay, you were on snows. Yeah.
I was squealing around every corner. I was terrified. There was this one kind of straight away in the sense that it was a curvy road.
Why be hurting?
I mean,
when you could be skirting.
Kumo saves everybody.
I could feel the tires breaking traction in some of those like straight like little runs I took. Like I would get going and I would hit one of those like low, nice little, just a slight little like flick of the steering wheel, and the rears were like. I was like,
God.
oh no, I'm going into a wall.
Not a place you want to wreck your car. But all in all, I was mostly impressed with Aaron and the CRV because like we would leave you in the dust, but by the time we parked, you were there, and I was like, God damn, okay.
Yeah.
It was the initial drive up I-70. I cried actually. I did, and I have it
Legit
on
tears.
video. I actually was recording. I was like, I'm gonna. This is a moment for me where I realized that the feeling of driving something. It's not like that you want a sports car just to have like a cool car, but when you truly enjoy the feeling of driving and you're watching all your friends just go have fun without you. But yeah, no, it's fucking Mountain Goat, man. I was right behind you fuckers the whole time.
So before we started recording, you and I were saying, like, we were talking about car payments and like kind of what your car payment goals are. We won't talk about that, but what are you thinking about getting? Like, what is the sports car that you think you would have a blast in with us? Like, where's your head at? I just want to know.
I want an S2000 again. I think that's the real what I would, if I'm patient, I think that's what I really want. But you know, granted, given where I live, my driveway situation, yada yada yada, I have been leaning BRZ 86. You know, preferably an actual 86 because I think there's appreciation potential there more over the FRS or the BRZ long term. So maybe like a nice Toyota 86 would be great.
I mean, they're great chassis.
I love it. I can't say enough good things about it. It does need turbo, but
Yeah,
it's
it needs
so much
boost.
fun in the corners.
Yeah, I think a supercharger, like a nice supercharger kit for it, some good support mods where it makes 300. You don't have a torque dip anymore. You know,
That was a very quick grab for that.
I've done it enough times.
but yeah, I think there's so much aftermarket support. If you just put like a nice supercharger there, something that's going to be reliable, 250, 300 wheel,
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
just to fix the torque problem.
exactly.
yeah, fix that little torque dip and just make it not as affected by elevation, especially out here.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be great. I've never driven an S2000, but the time I drove your BRZ, I was just like, oh, this is magical.
It's the chassis is phenomenal in the corners. I think Jackson Racing actually makes a supercharger kit that bolts where the AC compressor goes.
They still make one?
It was a centrifugal supercharger kit.
I do know what you're talking about because
Yeah.
I mean, probably Kraftwerks would be the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're a very big name, the Honda scene and stuff, and they got their stuff's just very very well engineered. Yeah, but Jackson Racing, they even make shit.
I don't think they're even around.
Have they gone under? That's really sad.
I don't think they've gone under. I think they just focus on racing. I'm not sure they're making parts anymore.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of moved to turbocharging for the most part, and a lot of people kind of gave up on supercharging. So I feel like Jackson Racing just kind of like there's not much money there. We're not
They
gonna
stopped doing it.
Yeah,
Like,
That's
I
a
know-
shame because the install on that kit looked really easy.
yeah. Like they always made very nice kits.
Yeah, like a complete worked with an OE system.
I mean, I showed you. I don't think they make it anymore either. The Edelbrock kit.
Yes.
That was a great looking kit.
I was just gonna. That's what I was waiting to say. Yeah, they made that one for the Miata, like the ND. I think
Yeah.
that was the last one, and then they like ran into that fueling issue or whatever, and the people weren't buying it because they couldn't solve the fueling problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or at least when my cousin had the ND, that was the problem. That's one of the reasons why he sold it because he didn't care to drive a car that was underpowered. Like he wasn't interested in driving like a low-powered car fast. He just wanted a fast
He
car.
just wanted, yeah.
You just wanted to feel the torque put him
yeah,
in the back
which
of
is
the seat.
which is fine.
Yeah, hey, there's nothing wrong with
That's-
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just.
There's horsepower is fun.
Yes.
I thought he had an incredibly well built ND, but
Yeah. Yeah, he had other things going on too, but yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen the Edelbrock supercharger kit for the BRZ.
No.
You should Google that after the show. It replaces the whole intake
it
manifold.
looks.
'Cause it's a Roots type supercharger, right?
Yeah, it just looks it looks completely factory,
Yeah,
which I love. Like I love
like powder black, right? The it's dope.
yeah powder coated like
Powder coated.
because like I love a modified car that looks modified, but there's something about if you can make a car that just like you're like, yeah, no, this could have come from the factory like this. Like you have like, that kind of fit and finish is very very awesome.
Yeah, it really speaks to the quality of a kit that can do that.
Right, but Edelbrock's been around since like the beginning of engines, so
But anyway,
Edelbrock.
yeah.
I loved the cruise, and I think we should definitely do more. And I would like to record them.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I got a lot of footage. I need to be posting more reels. If you've been following us on Instagram, we've been trying to post more reels because I guess that's where everybody likes to that likes to see things anymore. Nobody likes to stare at a still picture. This is 2022. Still pictures are out.
But a video can't be longer than 50 seconds.
No, exactly.
It can move, but it better stop moving quickly.
We're all ADHD at this point.
What did Matt say earlier? He wants to be a master in short form vertical content.
Yeah.
Short form vertical content creator.
You could put that on a resume, and it just sounds amazing.
Right?
No matter what job you're applying for.
Every company wants that right now. Every company. But yeah, no, it was great. I'm glad the B5 S4 didn't break down.
Was it going to?
Chris was really concerned.
Yeah.
He wasn't taking. He was kind of taking it easy on the car, especially in low RPM or low gears.
Was his car the smell that we smelled,
Probably,
or was
yeah.
it Don's?
No, I think it was Heil's car.
I know some of the brakes was coming from me. The BRZ's due for a brake job.
My brakes at the end of like when we were coming down and I was hauling ass behind Don, like I was starting to get like chatter. Or
Yeah. Speaking of chatter, you need brake rotors after that, don't you?
Well, I didn't do too bad, but yeah, definitely, trying to just see a taillight on the way down was.
You warped
it was
your rotors
hard.
a little.
Yeah, a little bit.
I
Yeah.
was really impressed on the way down when you went ahead, and you got a lot further ahead than I thought you would to get that standing shot of us all passing you.
Oh yeah. Well, Don was up my ass, and I was like, I have to get ahead. I don't know if you're just driving and I'm that slow, or are you like? Because I feel like I'm going 65, 70, and you're just right behind me. And then I think he got the hint.
Yeah, no, we got on the radio like, yo, slow down.
I was like, I can't go that fast. I'm gonna die.
So it looks like Jackson Racing is definitely still doing stuff. They're doing stuff with ECU tech for their supercharger systems, and it's all Rotrex
Oh, cool.
stuff. So.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so that's like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that'd be a nice kit.
And it really doesn't replace the manifold. It just like it replaces so little in the engine bay, and it provides you supercharging.
Carbon fiber drivetrain. Gosh, these guys. Are
Well, I think that
that's crazy.
supercharging, it might seem a little unpopular, but given our emission laws and the fact that I could probably keep the cats on there and just do a cat back, like
It's
versus-
so much easier to pass
Plus the
emissions with that.
noises are so cool.
Yeah, nice whiny roots. Or the centrifugals don't make us cool noise, but a root style. Where I grew up, we were modifying like supercharged 3800 Grand Prix and shit, and the supercharger whine off those things when you put like the tiniest pulley on them is just outlandish. Then you blow the supercharger, but it sounded really good for a brief moment in time.
For like a week.
Yeah.
You were super happy.
When you roll around in your grandma's old Buick Regal with the supercharged 3800 that you modified. But hey, that was what you did back in Michigan. We didn't have imports,
wow, that's so funny. It's just different because we would like throw a nitrous kit on like a Honda for a night and just blow it up, but you use what you got.
Yeah, we didn't have Hondas just didn't exist in the thumb of Michigan. Because like eventually now you can go get them and like there's Honda dealers and Nissan dealers and stuff, but back in the day, especially like out there, that was where GM made their parts, where Ford made their parts. And it's just like, so you drove an import car, you were pretty much like
You're slapping everybody in the face.
yeah, exactly. Like we make these parts here. This is the people that give us money. Why are you driving this fucking import car? Way to get your fucking car smashed up. Oh, good times. Glad I live in the proper part of the world with mountains and cool cars.
This is a wondrous, mountainous, utopian bubble.
Right?
Yep.
That's why everybody wants to live here. But go away. Too many people.
I was for transplants until I got here. Then I slammed the door
There's
behind me.
literally 4 transplants in this
Shut
room.
up.
You know what's nice to see over here is I like that we have the S14 here now, Chris. That's pretty exciting.
Yes. I got it. Finally got it up here. Barely,
Tell
apparently.
us what happened.
Yeah.
So I installed a Mishimoto radiator fan shroud, which was designed to delete the OEM clutch fan. I had a GK Tech clutch fan, and apparently I did not clearance it properly. I've been driving it around about a week, didn't have any issues, but on the way up here, I hit a bump, and I heard some plastic fly out from under the car. I'm like, what was that? It's plastic. It's okay. At least it's nothing critical.
You have such a drifter mindset. You're like, what was that? Everything's fine.
Yeah. it's still together. It's still tracking right. Everything's fine. And we got up here, and my fan was missing all of its blades. It completely destroyed
Open the
itself.
hood.
We found one blade.
That's true. There was one blade sitting on top of the shock tower, where you don't want it to be.
It doesn't do much good out there.
The rest of them are on I-25 somewhere in Commerce City.
So wait, but like, how did you find out that all of the blades were?
Oh, when I popped the hood to show off my crappy wiring job, and then Matt's like, "Look at that!"
I was like, that is a crappy wiring job. Like, there's just wires everywhere. You're like, oh, it wasn't supposed to be that bad.
And I looked it up, and yeah, it's apparently been it's eaten some of the wires. I'm amazed that it's still together because, believe it or not, this actually has happened before.
I believe it.
I believe it. Yeah.
with my factory my factory clutch fan and my factory electric fan. One of the cables from that got tangled up in the fan, and they destroyed each other. Which is why I'm so surprised that this is all held together so well, because I've seen it happen before, but everything else is pretty much intact, even though plastic shrapnel flew around my engine bay for a while. Relatively peacefully.
Right?
Yeah.
It turned out as good as it could. I mean, it did pull the wires out of the one fan completely, so that's a bit of a pain.
That is a bit of a pain.
We got to fix that for you to get home, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're just going to wire a toggle switch in there for the one fan and run all the time.
I mean, like I said, you got to stay here anyway to do the clutch. So just like if you don't want to fix it.
I mean, I'm down to jack it up and leave it, because that way I can get under it and find
Just
wherever
like
this new coolant leak
straighten
sprouted
it out.
from.
'Cause
Okay.
I found out, and you might need to move the Iggy like that way. But like if you're in this spot, it's kind of hard to move. Like get the jack like nice and.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, because of the angle. Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Dude.
A little close.
Can you keep you're going to keep the single blade that you found?
Yeah, it's sitting on a shelf behind us.
Awesome. Can we name it?
Yeah, let's name it.
What do you want to name it?
The Survivor?
Wesley Snipes.
Thank you.
Oh,
like leading the
oh
horse.
my God, that's
Where's
so
the
perfect.
water?
I can't
Can we
even.
decorate him and
Yeah.
make him
We
like
can
broken
call it,
car
yeah.
parts?
If we find another one, we can call it Mahershala Ali.
Jaywalker. Yeah, but he hasn't done it yet, and the jury's still out.
The jury's
He's a
still
great
out.
actor, but
Well, okay, I'm gonna
no Wesley
I'm gonna
Snipes.
3D print a little base for it that'll hold it.
Oh, nice.
We
like
can
a
have-
samurai.
There we
like
go.
a
So it's like a samurai
sword.
sword. It's like, don't touch that. The blades will come out and pierce your hands.
That's how we should decorate. Just broken car parts, right?
Yeah.
That's
Right, yeah.
It's,
I like
it's the
it.
graveyard of like, how did that break? Oh, that broke when.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have too many here, but yeah, we'll add to that collection pretty quickly.
I could put my CRV fender in there and just get a new one.
Oh, there we go.
CRV fender you almost
Stupid.
fell into the
CRX
ditch trying to
fender.
repair.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, or the CRX fender.
We could probably fit the CRX on there.
The whole CRX.
Just put it on the wall.
It's now decoration.
I don't mind doing that with that.
I mean, we were talking about using it as part of your
know-
recording desk.
How
Yeah,
like
exactly.
rich guys will put like old F1 cars on their walls. It's just like this piece of shit CRX.
We got this for $600 on Facebook.
It was 900 delivered.
Delivered. We got delivery fees with our CRX.
I have to let it. It was 700 plus
But
delivery.
it just came on the back of like an F-250. It's just not like
right out of the bed.
Just shove it out.
You see, I've been wanting to rig something up, especially if we put the lift kit on my Miata, which hopefully I'm paying to get that shipped up. The shipper's supposed to pick it up this week. And I'd love to rig up something to park it in the bed of my F-150.
With the lift kit, I think it's going to be a little too big.
You think it'll be too wide?
Yeah, because the tires are going to be too big.
This is the most Tennessee conversation I've heard yet.
Oh God, we have too many cars. At least I got Iggy's seatbelt thing fixed. That pissed me off so much. But so I might actually drive that home tonight. Caleb might be a little bad because we're supposed to go hiking early in the morning. So we'll have to either take the Subaru or drive Iggy in the mountains, which I am totally down for. But I don't know how much she's gonna enjoy that.
What's the worst? It's fine.
It's a Toyota Corolla.
Say,
What's gonna happen?
I like how you checked yourself before you said what's the worst that could happen.
Well, it's a Toyota, so I wasn't worried anymore.
Oh,
Yeah,
fair.
yeah, it'll be fine. What's gonna happen? The fan's gonna explode.
That's true, yeah.
We've already proven that that's fine.
Yeah, that you can just explode a fan and keep driving.
Yeah.
As long as you keep moving forward, you still have air going through the radiator.
Yep.
True. Just gotta keep moving.
Yeah.
Gotta keep moving forward.
The old Finding Nemo theory.
Exactly.
Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. I have one little last update to do. I am not going to be racing at Grid Life this year. Just didn't have time to get the car ready. I have to be in Michigan for a long period of time for some family stuff. So ended up selling the ticket. So good luck to, I forget his name, the guy I don't know, but he's going to be in Club TR. So good luck to him. And good luck to all our friends that are competing at Grid Life. And I know
No one's really going to Grid Life.
not
So
really.
I'm gonna try to go for one day and just try to at least get some footage of it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it was an awesome time. Like I would love to just stop by and have fun.
Yeah, if you go there, try to get some footage of Rob Dam's 4-rotor RX-7 because that's going to be there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that thing's an insane car.
And it's a great chance to talk to pro drifters because they're all there just chilling because it's exhibition.
Yeah. I mean, it's a 3-day event, so they have a lot of downtime too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of sad I'm not going to be there for it, but it just didn't work out this year. So we got some plans in order about like what's going to happen to the Fiesta, what's going to happen with me and cars in general. I have a plan for a car that I really would like to build, but building cars takes time. But yeah, it just like, I don't know. I hit a point, and I kind of want to talk about this real quick with you guys about just like, I just hit a point where, because I'm an automotive technician during the day, trying to do racing, trying to do the podcast stuff, and I just kind of got burnt out on cars. I was like, Jesus Christ, like I don't want to be working on cars right now. Like I've been doing so much work on cars, and during the day, during the off time, trying to do car stuff with Religion of Speed, which I love to do. Like I'm not gonna like stop doing that or anything. But I was like, you know what? Why am I putting so much pressure on myself to get this car done by Grid Life and all this kind of stuff? Like this is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm not getting paid for any of this.
Yeah.
If
We're doing this because we like to do it.
Right. And I think just with modern culture and everything, hustle culture, everybody's a brand, everybody's posting content, which is funny that we're saying that because we're trying to be a brand and post content.
Sitting here posting content.
Short form, vertical content. But it's like at a certain point, you just got to like, okay, wait, why am I doing this? Like, this is for fun, and I was really worried for a minute there too. I was like, I don't know, I'm going to try to like sell the Grid Life ticket. Everybody's going to be like, oh no, you shouldn't do that. But everybody was cool. Everybody was like, no, that's like, yeah, if you don't want to go to Grid Life, don't go. Like, don't push yourself and everything like that. All our car friends were just like, yeah, no, like it's, like I sold the crew passes to Dominic because he's got a huge opportunity to drive that Evo,
Oh, that's awesome.
the Pikes Peak Hill Climb Evo.
He's driving it.
Dominic is driving it at Grid Life.
Oh, that's
What's
cool.
the coolest thing about that? I covered that car for Performance Tuner magazine before that car was that car.
Yeah,
Like-
I mean, how many years ago was that?
Like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that. It was 2016, not 8. How many years is that? 6 years ago?
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
It's crazy to think that car went from like what it was to the hill climb car to like.
Mhm.
That is pretty awesome. And you were there basically at the genesis of its performance.
Yeah, with Boyd Racing and Cole from I don't know what this company is called, but one of the fabricators. And then that's not even how I met Dominic. I just met
Right.
Dominic through PPIR, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Yeah, I work for the Pikes Peak Hill Climb team." I'm like,
It is kind of amazing. We were talking about this earlier about like how small the car scene really is here.
It really is. It really is. You can know somebody from Facebook and then see them at Track Attack completely unrelated.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you know these guys? Oh yeah, we've been friends forever. It's like, of course you have. But yeah, so I was happy to give Dominic the crew passes so that way he can do his thing. But like he was talking about he was going to run the Civic. But then he had problems with his engine, didn't quite get that done.
It's EG's trying to K-swap, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But he's like, yeah, it was such a relief when, we sold the Grid Life tickets. I didn't have to get the car done by that time. And it's like, there's nothing better than canceling plans sometimes. Where you're just like, oh no, I got to get this done, the cancel it. You're like, cool, I don't got to do shit.
I mean, millennials love canceling plans. That's
Right.
like one of our favorite things to do.
Because we make too many fucking plans.
We make too many plans. That's why we love brunch. Because you get too drunk, you have to cancel all your afternoon plans.
And given that we love brunch, I think we should take more mountain cruises and just take it easy. Like,
100%.
there's
Exactly.
Yeah.
meeting up early. We're all most of us can get up pretty early, consistently. I would do it. I do it. I mean, every weekend I drive 50 to 100 miles the second I wake up, Saturday and Sunday morning, to nowhere.
Yeah,
you know,
just
just
to drive around.
Yeah, I drink my coffee. I drive for like 2-3 hours sometimes. So yeah, I'd rather do that with friends in fun cars.
Right? Yeah. We just need to get you a fun car.
Yeah, so step 1 is get you a fun car. Step 2 is get more cameras so we can like create some short form vertical content for you guys.
No, this will be long form
Yeah, this will
YouTube
definitely
content.
be long.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
we can cut it up into a bunch of SCV.
And I don't think we want
SVC.
to. Like I think it'd be nice to like so the general idea, and you guys can tell us if you think this is cool, but essentially we would just talk through radios, much like Top Gear guys do on like in our cars as we're doing these beautiful roads and scenic drives in Colorado, because we have access to them.
Yes.
Like unfettered access. We could just drive
We
up
can
there.
just go
Yeah.
up there.
And no one can tell you that you
The
can't.
only thing
unless
fettering
it
us
snows.
is tourism.
I mean,
Speaking of snow, I wanted to get a car that I can go up into the mountains and enjoy even in the winter. And I came really close. I'm still negotiating with this kid on Craigslist. I drove an 05 Forester XT, which I've wanted one of these for a long time. And it got to the point where I just gave up. I'm like, I'm not going to find a manual XT for any price I can afford.
right, yeah. Here, those things go for a premium.
Yeah, and this kid's asking $7,500. It's got 188,000 on the original motor though, which is really sketchy on a Subaru, especially a turbo
Turbo
one.
one that's probably been molested.
Right now, it is actually he claimed bone stock, but it's not quite there. Like I can tell things have been taken apart. But
Did he say bone stock? Because as soon as someone says bone stock to me, I know you know how to modify it.
he said
yeah.
he said never modified. Those were his words.
Wow.
But yeah, you're right. Bone stock's a red flag.
My buddy Adam had an Outback XT that I was always like, dude, this is crazy. Like it's
Yeah.
a wagon, it's turboed, it like makes all the Subaru sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always wanted to swap my Outback to XT engine.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, they're fun.
Unlike the Forester, the Outback's long enough. Well, maybe not for you, but most people could lay down and sleep in it.
I just barely can.
Really? You can?
Yeah,
And,
if the passenger seat slid forward,
Okay.
I can actually do that because we've camped like that plenty of times.
See, that's pretty awesome. So yeah, and you're 6'2", right?
6'2", 6'3", depending on the time of day.
Yeah.
When I first wake up, I'm a little bit taller. By the time I'm done working for the day, I'm just like hunched over, 3 inches shorter.
I'm looking at the top of Matt's head at the end of the day.
Like, what the fuck happened to you, man? I worked on cars too long. But yeah, no, that'd be a good car.
Yeah, it would. I have to get them either down to a price or, just back off of it because it's one of those dangerous things where you really want it
Yeah,
and that can lead you to make a rash decision.
yeah. There's a few things that if you got that car,
Oh, that's how that works. Shit.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, that little instant gratification of like, ooh, new thing, shiny
Yes.
thing, yes.
If he still has it when I get my Miata up here, then I may sell the Miata and buy it.
I might buy the Miata from you.
Oh, you beat me to it. He just dibs me real fast.
No, if anybody should buy the Miata, it should be you.
Yeah.
You
We'll
fit-
see.
you
fit
said you wanted
Miatas
a
better.
fast car, so
I fit in me. No one's.
It's
That's
not
a sentence
fast.
that no one's ever said
they're
to me
fast
ever.
in corners, but
You fit
it'll
in
be
Miatas
just as hard
better.
getting up that hill on I-70 as it was in a CRV.
It will maybe harder.
Maybe hard.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a Miata when I worked at Blackhawk.
Okay.
I had an
nice.
NA, and I used to drive it up there for work.
So when
NA6
we
or
did
NA8?
our first
NA6.
Okay,
cruise,
that's
that
what
was
this
like
is.
really long. That I felt like we just went to Grinnell Pass. We like drove it. It took like 10 minutes. We came back down. But so what did we do? Because we went around
looped.
and then came back.
Because I would like to run it and then run it back the other way. I think that would be a lot of
So
fun.
what we did is we met up in Golden,
Yeah.
and we went up Coal
So
Creek Road.
we went up to Blackhawk, right?
Yeah, went
didn't
up to
we?
Blackhawk.
Yeah, I remember going through there.
And we went down and then back, so back down to Idaho Springs, and then
Oh,
up,
we went up
and then
I-70.
over to Guanella.
Yeah.
So that was a much longer drive.
Did we even
Oh.
go to Netherland?
I don't think we made it that far, did we?
Well, we didn't. This is a
Yeah, no,
cruise
no,
that
no,
we
we
did
did,
before.
yeah,
got you.
went.
That's the way I thought we were going to go, and I was like, why didn't we take the canyon up and then cross over? But it's just way longer,
Yeah,
but way more rewarding.
yeah.
Oh, dude, totally. Yeah, I felt like the one that we did was, I mean,
It was very short, honestly,
yeah,
but it was Oh,
I mean, it
but
makes sense because
yeah.
there was a lot of people and like everyone's got different schedules or whatever. But I think like going forward, we should really map out like the route and be like, okay, this is where we're stopping or blah
Yeah.
blah.
We're gonna stop here for breakfast. Stop here. Yeah, I like it.
Center the whole cruise around food. I like that.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. No,
Yeah,
but
let's. I mean, if we're gonna do the show, let's do like some weird like, we'll take aspects from everything we like Top Gear. I like comedians in cars getting coffee because I like when
yeah.
they go to the coffee shop and it's like some
There's
fancy coffee shit.
so much good coffee.
we have a
porn
funny
that
person in the
show.
group.
No, we don't actually. It's weird. None of us are funny. It's kind of strange.
None of us like doing comedy on the weekends and every weeknight. You can catch me at Epic Brewing every Monday doing the open mic.
Hold on. Oh, yeah. No fucking self promotion here.
I will cut the plugs.
Shameless,
No, you-
shameless self
Can
promotion.
I talk about my
plugs.
comic?
God damn it. We all have too much stuff going on. No, of course, promote your shit. Of course. Yeah.
To the 8 listeners.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, if you haven't followed Hamza and his comic book
don't
stuff,
do that.
Do it. Do it. No, do it. He's an amazing artist. If you haven't followed Aaron and his comedy shit, do it because he's an awesome comedian. So there we go. And me, this is what I do. And I mean, you just play video games. So
I
it could work.
play video games and get high and do this.
Honestly, you're doing it right. So we're all just trying to be.
I also
too-
fly airplanes occasionally.
Yeah, that's true. You're trying to be the pilot.
Not while I'm high though.
Like paper planes or? I don't. Do you fly planes for real? On RC planes?
No,
Oh wait,
I'm
you didn't know that?
I don't know any
I'm a
of
student
this.
pilot.
Are you?
Yeah, I've got like 200 hours,
Wow.
and that's not that's about 4 times as much as I need to be a private pilot. And I'm just a really shitty student, and I haven't taken the test yet.
Wow, that's impressive.
Just a really shitty student.
Yeah.
Which is what you want to hear from your pilot.
Right. I mean, I can fly a plane, I can land a plane, but ask me about what's legal, like that's that's where we run into areas of trouble.
But that's like a
'Cause I don't give
general
a-
life thing with you. Not necessarily like just.
Right. It's like, why should I care about what's legal? I know how the plane works. Like, that's
God.
what matters.
You'd be a great drug runner, is all I'm saying.
Oh my god, that's my favorite Coke pilot ever right there. Oh god.
Is that where we end it? I think that's where we
That's
end
where we
it.
end it.
All
That's
right. I want to thank everybody for listening and following us on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, religionspeed.co for pretty much all those. Although YouTube we're still too small for, so you just Google it. It's fine. You'll find us.
We're not the metal song Religion of Speed, though.
No, but it is a good song.
Yeah.
So, listen to that too. It's fine. Yeah, I don't think there's really too much promotion I want to do right now. I just want to, of course, like I said, thank everybody for listening. And I'm just going to hand it off to Huffman.
We'd like to thank the band Wheels for the use of our theme song, Colors. You can hear it on the album Traveler Part 1, and you can find them at Wheels the Band at bandcamp.com.
All right, that's going to do it for us today, Heretics. Thanks for listening. Until next time, peace out.